Welcome back to Impossibly Unremarkable, a podcast hosted by myself, Jonathon Butts, and my longtime friend, co-host, and wayward soldier, Elliott Markson.
That is right, and we are back for another episode of this podcast. We're just two beggars on the street going, "Please, sir, can we have some more? Please, please, sir. I'm dying. I've got the laryngitis." That's not even a disease they would have. Isn't that right?
That is right. I mean, laryngitis.
Yeah, that's the speaking one. I was trying to think of
I don't know what the first part was.
What?
Oh, I don't think you die from laryngitis.
No, I think I was thinking like leprosy, but it came out laryngitis.
Were you thinking of like meningitis and leprosy?
Oh,
together?
yeah, them together. That would be a deathly combo.
That would suck.
You don't want to get both of those.
Want to know something about armadillos?
What? Armadillos?
An armadillo.
Wait, are you pronouncing armadillo?
Yeah, an armadillo.
Is that how it's supposed to be pronounced?
Sure. They actually can carry leprosy.
I've heard that. I wasn't sure if that was true, but I've heard that that's a thing. Is it true?
Yeah, it is true.
Oh.
My brother, when he lived in Alabama, I think it was either him or a buddy he was with, they were out somewhere, and one of them almost picked up an armadillo.
Yeah. Stop. Armadillo?
But I think a local yelled at them and was like, "Hey, that thing's it's got leprosy. Put it down.
Hey, don't touch that."
Can you imagine
that's a biblical disease
in the 2000s, like 2010s, 2020s, just getting leprosy?
I was just about to say, do people still get leprosy? Like, is that
your
thing?
Body just falls apart like you're like an Egyptian conqueror from the 1100s. I don't know when all those things happen, but
yeah, I don't.
I'm just thinking of that one movie. You know,
Passion of the Christ?
No, not Passion of the Christ. It's like Templars. It has Templars.
Okay.
There's like one dude who's a ruler, and he's like just his body's falling apart, so he's like wearing a mask and stuff.
Is that actually what happens? Like in reality, like you lose parts of your body? Is that what it is?
I'm pretty sure that's
like
how
your nose
works.
will just fall off.
Yeah, I think like your body decays and just falls apart. If you're a leprosy doctor,
yeah. If you're a leprosy MD, just let us know if we're accurate on that. Could a nose just fall off? Could my arm just goes? Just gone.
Should we get a leper on the podcast?
Yeah, that'll be our next guest. We're gonna interview an actual leper. Don't touch him though. We'll be remote probably.
I want to know if the disease is anything like it used to be or how it used to be portrayed.
Yeah.
I want to know more about it. So if you currently have leprosy or overcame leprosy, please let us know.
Yeah, we want to hear your story.
Sound off in the comments.
Hey, if you got leprosy, sound off in the comments. Let us know. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. What if we actually got somebody who's had leprosy? That would be insane.
Awesome. I would love to hear from people who've survived horrific things like that.
That'll be our next run of guests. We'll just find people who've survived horrible things just like
school shooting.
Oh shit!
There's only like 10 million kids out there we could choose from.
Dude, there was just another one in Nashville. Did you read about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was horrible.
Yeah, very.
Some
horrible.
28-year-old woman used to go to the school or something. Just popped in a side door. Wild.
The really cool thing about that shooter, is that supposedly they were transgender. So people are going to take this and just shit all over the transgender
That's
community.
just so dumb because that has nothing to do with anything. That's just like trying to divert the problem to something else. Yeah. The real problem is, I'm not getting political, but you know what the real problem is.
Yeah, you all know. If you know what the real problem is, sound off in the comments.
We get so much traction on that kind of stuff when we ask for people to sound off.
Yeah, people are really good at
people
responding.
People sound the hell off in the comments. Yeah,
they do.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's ridiculous. I hate when they do that. They're like, "Well, it was a person of color, so this is totally not about guns." It's like, yo, let's be real here. We know what the issue is, but we're not getting political. We don't like to get political on this show.
We hate getting political.
No, we don't get political. We ride the fence.
That being said, anyone and everyone can be shitty enough and horrible enough to be a shooter.
That's right.
Necessarily specific to one demographic.
Yeah.
And if it happens to be one demographic, that's not a reason to then shit on that demographic.
Right.
When the only demographic we should care about is the school shooter category,
The only demographic I care about is humans,
Yeah. If you're a human,
Yo.
Sound.
If you're a human,
stop. I can't keep doing it.
If you're an armadillo.
I want to touch one so bad, though. I love them. I
Do
love
it.
Armadillos.
Then we can finally interview a leper.
It's just me.
Johnny Smokes gets smoked by leprosy, dude.
Call me Johnny Leper.
Johnny Leper.
I hope that's not like an offensive term.
Oh, I don't know. That does seem a little like...
it probably is.
It probably is, dude. It really does sound like it would be like a slur of some kind, like towards that group of people with leprosy, if you call them that. Like,
if it is an offensive term, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't think leprosy was still a thing, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're pretty ignorant. We'll just edit it out.
Sure.
Like just the start of the episode, you'll just hear like blank noise or like gaps of sound.
Starting now. All right.
Yeah.
So, just kidding. All right. So how have you been though? I mean, besides all the things going on with armadillos and tragedy, what's going on in your personal life? Tell me about what's going on with Johnny.
It was actually a very productive weekend. Emily and I just went ham on chores around the new apartment.
Ooh.
To get people to come over. Because, I mean, you know, when you first move in, like for the first few weeks, you just got boxes of shit everywhere.
Yes.
And we still do have boxes of shit, but it's in my office and not in the living room.
Nice.
So we had some friends over on Sunday.
I was one of them.
You were one of them.
I was there.
A group of people who had all seen The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
And
great show.
We wanted to play the game together. Did you have fun? Just be honest.
I did. Yeah. No, I actually
it,
did. I hadn't played the game before, but I mean, if you haven't played the game, it's totally worth it. It's a fun play, especially we played the remastered version, so the graphics were pretty sick, and it was fun. It's kind of a shooter, but there's a little more to it than that. It's not just shooting zombies like other games. You know, there's like stealth and other tasks you gotta complete.
You gotta pick up ladders.
Move those
ladders.
Pick up a bottle.
Yeah, bottles.
Throw it at something.
Bricks. Yeah. So
Get some medicine. You know, there's a whole thing to it.
Yeah. We're going to go into full detail on the mechanics, gameplay, plot, set, sound design, everything.
Yep. So first, I'm going to cover game controls. So if you have the controller in front of you, everyone just kind of grab it. No, but it was a good game. Totally fun. Just kind of seeing the place. You guys did do a lot. I was shocked because I hadn't seen it since you moved in, since I helped move you in. Mm-hmm. And at that point, you had nothing, obviously, because we were just moving boxes upstairs.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had the living room put together. You got your new couch, which was nice.
I picked it out.
There was
NBD.
There was just decor, little knickknacks everywhere.
Yeah.
You got that nice little shiny window area with the sun beams in.
Yeah. Nice bay window, as they call it.
Yeah, nice bay window, and it's a beautiful apartment, and yeah.
Thanks, man.
Really enjoyed it.
Feels good. Feels very homey now.
Yeah.
But yeah. Aside from that, I caught up with some friends I haven't seen in quite a while this weekend. Now that I live in a more central location. Mm-hmm. But that's about it. You know, it's been a very chill week.
Nice.
How about you?
I mean, nothing too crazy. This weekend, I did do a murder mystery.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, you were busy, so you didn't partake in the murder mystery.
If you told me that, hey, Jonathon, we're going to murder you and there's a mystery around I would have showed up.
It wasn't exactly like that. Well, you were busy out boozing, so I didn't, I had other plans. I had to solve a mystery, but it was great. So it's not like what you think. So when we did it with my wife and her cousins and her sister. So, I originally thought it was like going to be one of those things where like, there's been a murder and then we're supposed to be in character or something. It was actually, I think it might've been better than that, honestly, because essentially what it was is we got this packet, right? And you open up the packet and it just has profiles of all of the suspects. Everything has all the details of the case. And then there's 3 things you have to complete to finish it. So the first thing you had to do was there was one of the suspects who has already been charged with the murder. So you had to prove his innocence first. So once we found the clue within all the evidence that they gave us, which there was quite a bit of it. So it ended up being just like 5 people in a room reading and then going, wait, I've got an idea. And then you have to like figure out if that clue makes sense. And then if that proves that person innocent, then that's the first step. And then there was the next step. And then eventually you kind of find the killer. So it was very exciting. It was it seemed like really hard at first to get going, but then you kind of just get in gear, you know? I was locked in. I was Mr. Detective. I put on my detective hat, and then I by the end, I was convinced that I could probably solve a real crime. I think I could.
I think depending on like the complexity of the crime, sure you could solve a crime.
Give me the evidence. I'll find it.
Have you ever wanted to become a detective?
No, I haven't.
Really?
I don't know.
Not at all?
It seems... I mean, I had never solved a murder before, so after this, I had the confidence, but before then, I was like, it seems really hard.
Now that you've solved a murder.
Right, now that I have some experience, I feel like I could do it.
It's not that hard.
But before then, I was like, that seems so hard, dude. Like, but are they like... I don't know, like, what's the job security of a detective? You know what I mean? Like, if you haven't solved a murder in a year, are they like, gotta let you go, Johnny?
I mean,
your murder solving rate is below what we want.
Political, a detective is just a higher, like, senior, more police officer.
Right.
How's job security for police officers?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Towards
I just figured maybe they're held to a higher standard because they're solving crimes rather than just reacting to them. You're like, okay, I guess solving is reactive, but you know what I mean? Like, where an everyday cop is doing traffic stops or like responding to something that's happening, whereas the detective comes to a murder scene and then he has to put some things together.
It's true.
It's a little different. It's a higher tier, you know?
That is a good summary of what
they
happened.
seem like actually intelligent humans.
Whoa.
Not the other ones aren't.
Whoa.
I'm just saying these guys are like, you know, they seem like they're on another level. You know what I mean?
I think you definitely would have to have like a different mindset in order to succeed in that.
Right.
Not to say like regular cops aren't intelligent.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
but
wouldn't be saying that ever.
It definitely requires someone who can like see like between the lines, you know?
Right, exactly. You need to be a certain type of person with a certain type of brain to do that job.
I actually wanted to become a detective.
Really?
And I have the worst possible reason for why.
Why?
So this is towards the tail end of college, and if you were around back then, you knew I was a wayward soul. I had no idea what I wanted to do. You know?
Yeah. Oh, wandering.
Directionless.
Just like us all.
Directionless. But that was around the time I started watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And I
watched Andy Samberg.
He's a great detective.
And that's what made you want to be a detective? Yeah. You watched a comedy show about cops?
Yeah.
That's so funny, dude.
Like I said, it was a terrible reason.
Whoa.
But a pretty decent portrayal, I would say.
Sure.
They're great detectives for the most part.
I love the police chief in that one.
Yeah, they seem...
It seems so easy to be a police officer in New York. A lot of
crimes. But no, obviously it's like a very romanticized comedic portrayal of that kind of work.
Yeah.
But it got me interested in it, and so like for a while I was very interested, and my mom was very against me going into that because I was studying political science, which is very adjacent to criminal justice.
Sure. Yeah.
So it wouldn't be that much of a pivot to then try to get into law enforcement. But there's one thing I've lacked for a long time: discipline. Takes a certain amount of discipline to be able to get through all of the schooling, training, testing that's necessary. And there's just a certain point where I realize I'm not into it, you know?
That's a lot. They have to shoot you with a taser.
They do have to. I mean, I'm able to handle that.
Yeah.
But
you could, huh?
My brothers are both in the military.
Yeah.
And so in high school, there was a point, again, like I wanted to be a detective. I wanted to be in the military.
Oh, yeah.
And the first day that I started doing some physical exercise with one of my brothers, going through what, motions and exercises what I would have needed to do in order to meet the requirements to join, I think the Air Force I was looking at.
Oh.
I literally maybe lasted half an hour.
Could have done it.
Not that I was super out of shape in high school because I was a twig in high school.
You were a rail.
But it was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want physical exercise to be like part of my life.
Yeah.
Not like that. I don't want it to be part of my job. I don't want to wake up at 4 a.m. every day and do PT and then do my regular job. And so, truthfully, mostly what I wanted out of the military was a uniform. You
just wanted to look cool.
I wanted to look good.
You wanted the status.
Yeah.
Right? You wanted the credentials.
So clearly my intentions are very shallow.
Sure.
I think that's what we're learning.
Well, I feel like a lot of people live like that, though. They're like, hey, that'd be super cool to do that. And then they find out what it takes to actually do it, and they're like, maybe it's not for me. I'm on the other side. I feel like, okay, so I feel like I would love for physical exercise to be part of my job. If I could just, I mean, technically I do train part-time.
Yeah.
So it kind of is. But if I could get paid to work out, that's my damn dream. Like, I would love that. Although I don't think I could do the military because I don't know.
I know I couldn't handle people yelling at me.
Yeah, I don't think I would like that either. I don't respond well to like negative things.
Yeah.
Like someone yelling at me or being mean. I don't like it. It hurts my feelings.
Did you know like
I'm too soft.
I actually had meetings with recruiters in
You did? You had real meetings.
Yeah.
How did they go?
This National Guard guy
At the end they were just like, you're not gonna.
No, I mean it's National Guard. They're like, yes, please, because my brothers went the path of becoming officers and went to like military academies or did military programs through college.
Right.
National Guard is not that. You can go to college.
Yeah.
When you're in the National Guard, but like first and foremost, I think for the most part they just want warm bodies.
For sure.
And so he was like trying to just really sell me this, and he was a nice guy, but I didn't want to be doing that.
It's also a commitment, especially National Guard, because it's like here, like you could be going to college, but then like once a month, don't they have to like go to like some boot camp or something? Like it's a commitment. Like you have to go do stuff.
Yeah. So National Guard, you have your same basic training like you would in any other branch.
Yeah.
But then the commitment is, every so often you're called in for regular exercises, and then also if there's like national disasters, you can be called in.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but really, I really just wanted the uniform. That's all it all boiled down to, and I didn't want to put in any of the physical exercise needed. And also, there's like a lot of swimming components to these things, and I cannot swim.
Oh, I wouldn't like that.
I knew for a fact I would just drown.
Yeah.
And then that would be that. I would have been the guy that just drowned at basic training.
Yeah, see, I actually, for a few months of my life, was convinced I was going to join the Coast Guard.
When?
I was younger. I was like, I think I might have been like 16 or something.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. College seems lame.
Did you watch The Guardian with Kevin Costner?
No, I didn't.
Really?
But maybe that would have pushed me into it.
If anything was going to make you want to be a member of the Coast Guard, that would
Don't they have to swim too?
In the Coast Guard?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I feel like I looked into like what the actual like what you have to do, and there was something about like swimming or treading water or something like that, and I'm like, that seems really hard.
Yeah, I think it's
because I'm not the best swimmer. If you know me, I don't know all my strokes. I can move in the water, but if you ask me to tread water for 30-40 minutes, I don't know if I'm going to make it.
I for sure wouldn't.
Yeah, or at least I'd need to train. I'm
never going to get to a point where like, you know what, I'm going to learn to swim.
And I was too young. I wasn't disciplined enough to do it. Like, I feel like I could train and do it now.
Oh, I guarantee you could.
But why would I do that?
Yeah. You're not really at like a point in your life where you can just completely
not really
180 pivot to a different career.
I'm going to the Coast Guard. See you guys.
I don't know how many Coast Guard units are based in Minnesota.
I think 0. I think we have much coast here.
Oh yeah, Lake Superior.
Is that coast? That's not coast.
Of course it's a coast.
You'd probably be in like Texas, California, on the East Coast somewhere.
There has to be
right?
Coast Guard in Minnesota. I guarantee.
Why? They have Coast Guard on Lake Superior?
Yeah. Sure they do.
I guess, maybe. I guess because Canadian coast. Is that a thing? Would you call it that? The Canadian coast?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Neither of us know anything about
I don't know enough about this.
But the point is, neither of us had the discipline back then.
Yeah. Sound off in the comments if you're just kidding. Yeah, so I mean, where were we? I was talking about that murder mystery, dude. We totally just like, zoom, just kind of shot off somewhere.
Went from murder mystery to detective to Brooklyn Nine-Nine to military.
There it is. There was the train. It's
train.
Crazy how the mind works. It's incredible.
Truly.
What else did I do this week? Honestly, man. The Lala. We talked about Lollapalooza last week, but the actual like days came out like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's kind of lame. The way they spread out all the artists.
Like refresh my memory. Who was the one you wanted to see?
I mean, there's a few of them. So I mean, Kendrick Lamar would be sweet to see, but he's on Friday, and that is by far the weakest day. Like the headliners are him in the 1975. And then the rest of them, I don't know if I counted one artist I wanted to see that were like the smaller artists.
Oh, that's a bummer.
So, like, I'd be paying to just see Kendrick Lamar at the end of the day. No, not going to do that.
Not worth it.
The other days, I think Saturday was okay, but I don't know. We'll see if we actually go. It seems like nah.
I hope you can go. Or what if I just threw your own Lollapalooza?
Okay.
I'll get some Molly, some DMT.
Oh, yeah.
I got 2 speakers in my room.
That's all we need. We'll make our own festival here.
That sounds fun.
Sounds like you got it made.
Yeah. I'll look for an invite. It's only like $500 entry fee.
It's just like in the parking garage of your apartment building, and you're just like sitting next to the dumpster with a handheld Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
And you've got some sort of substance that is supposedly DMT, but we'll see.
It's just a bunch of Benadryl.
Dude, I'm seeing the other world. I don't know. The veil is thinning.
I mean, with sufficient Benadryl, I'm sure you could have a good trip.
Maybe.
Yeah, man. Come on.
You cannot trip off Benadryl.
People talk about seeing the Hat Man on Benadryl, so...
Yeah, those people probably haven't done any real drugs, though.
Benadryl's pretty hard. I don't know what to tell you.
The Hat Man. I was listening to a podcast that the Hat Man is a tulpa.
A what?
Do you know what a tulpa is?
No.
A tulpa is basically this... It's essentially a theory that if you think of something, it'll become real, right? It's like a tulpa is collective consciousness of everybody thinking of something and then it actually materializing in the real world. So the Hat Man, because everyone has kind of talked about it, they spoke it into existence. So it is now a real thing.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
So kind of like a clitoris.
No.
Okay.
That's
Are there
good.
other examples of tulpas?
Like the Slender Man would be a tulpa.
T-O-L-P-A?
I don't know how to spell it.
Tulpa?
Tulpa.
So you're saying it sounds like there's an L in there. A tulpa.
I think there's an L. A
Okay.
tulpa.
I wanted the Slender Man to be real when I was in high school.
Oh, me too.
I think did we hunt for him?
We didn't really know,
No.
but we played the games and tried to spook ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, that's all I need to talk about this week. We don't need to dive into tulpas today. That can be another.
Next week is tulpa.
That could be next week. We'll cover tulpas on a more extensive basis.
We're having the Hat Man on the podcast.
Yeah, he's going to be a good guest.
That's a great episode idea. You and I pop like 30 Benadryls each
Oh, shit.
and just see what happens.
Okay. One of us dies on camera.
Don't take.
I don't know what's happening to him. He's not breathing.
Don't do that. Don't abuse substances.
No, we do not condone
Don't do that.
that. And if you want to see the Hat Man, just have sleep paralysis like the rest of us.
Yeah. Be an adult.
Come on, grow up. You don't need to do Benadryl to do it. Jeez.
All right. You want me to get started on recommendations of the week?
Yeah, let's do the rec of the week.
So if you've been living under a rock and haven't heard about this show,
You suck.
or if you've heard about this show but haven't taken the leap to watching it, fuck you.
Yeah.
Ted Lasso is probably top 10.
Eat dirt.
Top 10 all-time shows for me.
Lick my shorts.
Okay. All right. He's a bit wily right now. He's
Sorry, what were you
he's on
saying?
Some
What were you talking about?
Off-brand Benadryl. Ted Lasso. That's my recommendation of the week.
Right. Ted Lasso, baby.
Season 3 just came out. They're doing an episode a week every Wednesday. That means
Nice.
today, when we're recording the episode,
Woo.
episode 3 came out. Ted Lasso is about an American football coach that
Yes.
goes to jolly old England.
Yes,
to
across the
become
pond.
A European football coach. And
Yeah.
it stars Jason Sudeikis, a bunch of other people whose names
Other people.
are like slipping my mind.
Yeah.
It's like a very wholesome show. When I first found it, there were only 2 seasons, and I think season 2 was just releasing at that time. And I was like in a dark place, honestly.
Oh.
It was like very dark. The lights weren't on.
Yeah.
No, I just remember when I found it, I was like not feeling super great about myself.
Sure.
And then I started watching it. And I'm like, wow, I feel fucking good.
There is something about that
happy.
show that kind of just like, yeah, it helps you. I feel like it's a good like emotional release.
It
Or, like
really
it's
is.
deeper than you think it is too. Because
Definitely deeper.
At first, it seems like this silly little comedy. It's kind of fun. He's a football coach now. He's coaching soccer in the UK. It's Jason Sudeikis. Woo! But there are some underlying like themes, dark themes of like alcoholism and depression.
Anxiety. Panic attacks. Racism.
That.
So they cover all of the things.
Yeah.
It's just really, really well done. If you're feeling down, and you have access to Apple TV, or you have a friend who has Apple TV, use Elliott's Apple TV.
Yeah. Once again, if you share this, if you share this video or this podcast with anybody and you post it, you tag me personally, I will personally DM you my Apple TV login.
There's no way.
I will.
The thing is, I have never shared my Apple TV with anybody besides maybe Emily, because it uses your fucking Apple ID. If you have you have access to everything.
What?
Yeah.
I'll still do it.
Yeah. Give me your Apple ID then.
It stands.
I'm going to get in your phone.
Okay.
Your iCloud.
Yeah.
Your documents.
Get in.
Then I'm going to find your GarageBand.
No. Not that. All of my tracks. You're going to leak my album.
Early, yeah.
Yeah.
What's your recommendation?
My rec is also a show.
Is it that Davy Jones and the Six?
No, we already talked about Daisy Jones and the Six, which my recommendation still stands on that show. It is awesome. But this show is called The Other Two. Have you seen it?
No.
Have you heard about it?
No.
Do you know anything about it?
No.
This show is on HBO Max. It is starring actors. I don't remember any of their names, but the premise, it's a comedy. It is silly. I think Lorne Michaels actually helped create it, maybe.
Say that again?
Lorne Michaels.
Lorne? Okay.
Is that how you say his name?
Yes, Lauren. You said Lauren.
Lorne
Michaels?
Whatever. Lorne.
This guy doesn't know shit.
Whatever. He helped create it, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, the premise is essentially these two main characters. One is a struggling actor in New York. The other was an ex-dancer or whatever, and she is struggling. They're both struggling in their careers, and they have this younger brother who is now a rising pop star, like a Justin Bieber type character.
Oh.
So these two, essentially it's because they had their dreams and they're kind of failing, and now their little brother is blasting off into pop stardom, and they're kind of just trying to still make it and fulfill their dreams while kind of riding his wave. And it's a little silly because they're silly. I don't know. It's a fun show.
It's a great analysis.
Yeah.
So they're all a family.
Yeah, it's a family.
They're all siblings.
Yeah.
Wait, so if the ex-dancer, what is their career?
What does she do now? She ends up I don't want to ruin it.
Okay.
And she's doing her thing.
Does Megan swear by it?
Yeah, Megan loves it.
Okay.
Yes.
Then that's a recommendation
Absolutely.
I can trust.
Recommendation of the week. It's a good show. It's a fun show. Episodes are pretty quick, so if you need something to just kind of throw on and make you feel a little fun, do it. Throw it on.
We
Watch
should just
it.
have Megan come down here every time for recommendation of the week.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, she's got some good ones.
She does.
She will hook you up.
But you know what she doesn't recommend?
Huh?
Having me in the room when she gives birth.
I know.
Did you guys ever talk about that privately?
Yeah.
And?
I've brought it up to her.
And?
Still a solid, concrete no.
Wow.
She does not want you in the room, man.
It's fine. I just thought we were
Why would you want to be in the room?
I don't want to be in the room.
That sounds like a stressful situation for you.
I don't want to be in the room. Here's the thing. There are times when I don't want to be invited to things. I don't want to do things, but still knowing that someone wants me there, despite me not wanting to be there, that's everything to me.
So so I could just lie to you and tell you she wants you in the room, and then you would be like, well, I'm not going to be in there.
I want to hear it from her.
No, she won't.
It's like if, say you got some friends.
Yeah.
And they go to a party.
Okay.
And you would have never been caught dead at that party.
Yeah.
But you still would have been, invited. That would have been nice to be invited. You know what I mean?
I get it. No. It's almost like the invite is better than actually being there.
Exactly.
So you're like, well, I didn't want to go anyways, but getting the invite solidifies that they wanted me there.
Yes. It's all about feeling wanted. That's all it's ever been about.
Wow.
Getting very real today.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes you got to just dive into the facts, the reality of life, and just how we're truly feeling,
Exactly.
Feeling wanted is better than actually being there.
Honestly, it's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
Does that mean it's time for question of the day?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes I forget where we're at.
It doesn't really matter.
It truly doesn't. I don't think anyone cares about the order in which we talk nonsense.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want, okay?
Yeah.
So quit looking at me like that.
Leave us alone.
Yeah.
All right. You had question of the day, right?
No, you did.
All right. This is it's kind of serious. Nothing goofy.
Oh.
I just want to have an open and honest discussion about this.
Okay.
So
hold on. Yeah. Will I get emotional?
I wouldn't think so. It'd be a little weird if you did.
Well, I might.
Maybe you will.
What if I'm feeling extra emotional today?
Wait.
What?
Before I get into this.
Yeah.
I need to chastise you openly.
Why?
For the stupid opinion you have.
What?
Our good friend Benjamin posed this question, and I really want to know what other people think.
Oh, come on. Give me a break.
The question was asked,
This isn't your question of the day, is it?
It is not my question of the day.
Okay.
Unrelated, but I just remembered that I wanted to, berate you for this. The question was asked, can you feel embarrassed while alone? The majority of our friend group, we answered a poll. Yes, you can feel embarrassed while alone. Mm-hmm. Elliott and Ben stood alone.
Yeah.
Ben had some reasonable supporting evidence
for
his opinion that you cannot feel embarrassed while alone. And that is because he was, and it honestly came down to semantics. So it can go either way.
Sure.
By his definition of embarrassed, it requires the presence of other people. And I guess just thinking, being alone, but thinking about other people reacting to something you've done doesn't count as being alone, according to what he was saying.
Okay, yeah.
But then Elliott came out of nowhere.
That's exactly what I said.
You agree with that. But Elliott came out of nowhere and then said you can't feel self-conscious while alone.
Exactly.
Which I just...
Because didn't I send you the definition of self-conscious?
You did.
Yeah. What did that read?
I don't know.
Let's pull it up. Let's just pull it up. So, if I can find it. Here.
I think you can feel self-conscious and feel insecure by yourself all the time. And you know why? I do that shit day in and day out. I wake up, I'm self-conscious.
No, that seems like your own issue, man.
Because I know you said, I know self-conscious relies on...
Okay. What does it mean to be self-conscious? Self-conscious refers to a tendency to be preoccupied with your own appearance or actions, particularly about how you think others might perceive you.
But
everything depends on... Everything is... It's all about how others viewing you. So if you are alone and there are no others to view you or think about your action that you just did or witness it, you can't feel self-conscious because there's no one there to feel self-conscious about.
All right. Imagine I'm about to go to a party.
Yeah.
I was invited to this party, and this time I decided I wanted to go.
Okay, you're going this time.
But I'm currently alone, physically alone in my home. But I'm wearing a shirt that's not too flattering. And I'm thinking, wow, I look like shit. And Elliott, my friend who occasionally comments on my appearance, says, I'm thinking to myself, Elliott's going to say, you look like shit too. That's right in my mind. Am I not alone while also still feeling self-conscious?
Technically, you're physically alone.
Physically alone, yes.
But you're only self-conscious because of other people.
So then I think we need to rephrase the question.
Okay.
Can you feel embarrassed or self-conscious while in a vacuum, not thinking about anyone else, and while being physically alone?
By definition, no, you cannot. You cannot be embarrassed or self-conscious while no one else is impacting your feelings. But if you're alone only by yourself, no.
You are correct only by that very specific definition of the question. Those very specific conditions in which you're saying you're in a situation where you're physically alone and you're also not thinking about anyone else. But how often is that the case for people? How often are you alone physically and also you're not thinking about anyone else? Because I think about people all the time. And it's not even from a place of anxiety or self-consciousness. I just people are on my mind all the time. I watch a show and I see something that reminds me of you. I'm thinking, oh, Elliott. Or I see something that reminds me of Emily or my family.
Right. But I'm saying okay, you're in your house alone by yourself. You slip and fall on your ass. You're not hurt. But if someone else had been there, that would have been embarrassing. But are you still embarrassed even though you're alone?
In that situation, I might not be embarrassed.
Okay.
But what about the real world?
But what about a similar situation where you're still alone in your house, something embarrassing happens, say you shit yourself?
All right, Elliott once outed...
I've told this story on the podcast,
Elliott once outed himself, and now I'm going to out myself. When I got back from my trip in Germany, I talked about how sick I got. The morning after I was in the ER, I was still not feeling great. And so I woke up and boom, it just happened. I shit myself. I was completely alone.
Yeah.
I can confidently say I felt embarrassed.
Are you serious?
Yes. Yes.
Dude.
age 25, I wake up and I've soiled myself in the dead of night.
It's not embarrassing.
That is super embarrassing.
I wouldn't be embarrassed. I would just wake up and be like, damn, I have to deal with this right now. Are you kidding me?
I mean,
How did this happen?
I felt a wide range of emotions, stretching from anger to, I mean, mostly anger.
Wait,
and
you woke up like that?
Yeah.
Was it in your bed?
Yeah.
Did you have to clean your sheets?
No, my sheets were, I mean, it was all contained within my undergarments and my shorts.
You sure?
Swear on my life.
You sure you didn't have a blowout?
I didn't have a blowout. I didn't like completely soil myself like a kid would.
Yeah.
But it was gross enough that I obviously had to like clean all my clothing and my body.
My reaction wouldn't be like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. It would be like, are you kidding?
Well, I wasn't like, oh, this is terrible. But it was like, wow, this is really shameful. I'm a full-grown adult and this is happening. This is very embarrassing.
I feel like as I get older, I'm just kind of like, things happen, you know?
This dude shits himself on the regular.
Things happen, dude. Sorry. I don't know.
If you're going to interact with us at any point in this episode, I know we've said, hey, sound off in the comments. We said that a lot. If you're going to say anything, please weigh in. Can you be embarrassed while alone?
Can you?
And if you agree with me, please feel free to make fun of Elliott.
And if you agree with me, I'll give you my Apple TV login.
If you agree with Elliott, I will delete your comments off of Instagram, YouTube, Spotify.
No, we need.
Okay, here's my real question.
Okay, yeah.
What do you see as the future of our society? Where do you see us going?
Oh, man.
And consider everything. Consider the current political climate.
Yeah.
Consider how we all treat each other on a daily basis if we disagree with each other. Consider, did I already say?
You said everything.
Climate. Consider the weather. Consider medicine.
Sure.
Consider COVID. School shootings.
Oh.
Death.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Food insecurity. All right, I'm sorry.
This is all going to depend on your outlook, right? It depends where you look. Because I feel like I could view certain areas and be like, there's a lot of positivity. There's a lot of things heading in the right direction. But then you could look at the negatives, like, you know, how divided and polarized we are politically.
Let me narrow down the question so it's a bit easier for you to answer.
Okay.
Easier for you to tackle. Where do you see the United States specifically in 25 years?
Oh.
What are we looking like? How's your kid? In 25 years, your kid is going to be 25.
Nuked.
We're
all dead.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Easy.
My kid's 25. Okay. I see, man, I feel like, I mean, right now, it feels like a lot of things are heading down in a bad direction.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I mean, that happens all the time. You know, in like growing up, I'm sure like 2008, there was a big recession. I was a kid, so it didn't really affect my life that much. But I'm sure my parents were like, man, I don't know what it's going to be like when my kid's in his 20s. Turns out, not better.
Worse.
In 25 years, I feel like I'm hoping we can take steps in the right direction, right? We need to make a lot of changes, but I don't know if anything's going to happen, to be honest. So to say where we'll be as a society, dude, you know, this is a big question, man.
It is a big question, mostly because I've been dealing with the work crisis the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
And so on the drive here, I'm like, I got to think of something that's not, you know, out of the box. Because I just don't have the creative energy in me today.
Yeah, I get it. Where do you think we'll be in 25 years?
I have, and I don't really think I'm a doomer. I don't think I'm one of those guys that just like hysterical and terrified of the future. But I have a genuinely negative outlook, especially within the next 25 years.
Okay.
Because we're at a point where we just cannot agree on like fundamental truths.
Anything.
Yes. Like
scientific facts.
Yeah, scientific facts.
We can't agree on.
Things that have been observed over and over and over again, and where like a vast, overwhelming majority of the scientific community has said this is going to happen.
Yeah.
We can't agree on it, and we're not taking steps. I mean, there are things that we have done right.
Right.
I think the ozone layer is at a point where it's repairing itself. That's good.
Great.
That's awesome. But there are other things like rising tides, microplastics. All these things are happening, and we're not really doing anything collectively. There's still like those individual efforts, like use less water and all that crap that really doesn't tip the scales, move the needle much. And so when you compare all that, like just looking specifically at the climate, things are not in a great place.
Yeah.
we continue polluting. We had some agreements internationally that were revoked over the last few years that we stopped following. Not great.
Not great.
And now we just have a country of people who just fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
And I'll be the first to admit that I do get angry and I will get mad at the other side. But it is at such a point where we're just fucked, man.
It kind of feels that way. But I like to think that things can get better.
I agree that I believe that things can get better.
I'm going to tell you what I would like to see.
Okay.
I would like to see that we can finally move forward with certain things, like maybe making... I don't want to get too political on the show, man. I don't want to do it. I don't want to hop over that fence. I would like to make it a safer place for everybody in terms of violence. I would like people to be able to make progress in terms of, climate change.
Yeah.
Not being too political.
Don't get it.
That shouldn't even be a political thing. That's ridiculous to me.
It really
I don't know. I feel like, dude, if my kid has to pay as much, pay for college by the time he's in his 20s, I'm like, good luck. I don't have it.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no way, dude.
So we're not really taking a lot of steps to make things less expensive. There have been some good movements on interest rates and capping minimum payments, just looking at college. But
yeah,
even that's not going to solve
I don't know.
Tomorrow,
man.
It's not going to magically cost less than $50,000 to get an education. It's still going to cost that much. It's going to cost that much.
Honestly, I would be okay if it was just the same, dude. You know what I mean?
By the time you need to look at paying for college for your kid, if it's still like 30 to 40 grand, it's not that bad.
I'd be like, all right, okay. Because here's the thing. Megan is an amazing human. Her parents helped her with college. She wants us to help our child with college. And I'm like, if we can. But so I am anticipating helping my child pay for their college if they want to go. By the way, I don't give a shit if he does. But yeah, so yeah, hopefully he just joins the Coast Guard or something.
Yeah, hopefully push him in that direction.
Yeah,
I mean he already has a nautical themed room.
You're right.
He's going to be born thinking I should be.
He's either going to be in the Navy, or a Coast Guard. Or he'll be a marine biologist.
That would be very cool.
Or he'll be one of those fun dolphin trainers at the zoo.
I would really like it if he latched on to sea creatures specifically.
Yeah,
just made it his life's goal to work with.
He just only works with sea animals. That's all he does. He's in the. He swims. He's gonna be a swimmer. Dude, I don't know. We'll see, but. Dude, I don't know. That's such a big question. Where do I think? Who am I to say? I have zero control, first of all, besides my vote. My one vote I have.
It's a powerful vote.
I vote in all elections, all right? I try to do my best, but I don't... At the end of the day, I'm not making the decisions, really, right? I'm not the one putting forth policy. I'm not the person in a position of power. I just live in this country and just hope it goes the direction I'm voting for.
That's all we can ask for.
You know?
Last election, someone budged in line, stepped in front of me to put their ballot into the machine, and it was enough to be like, you know what, my vote doesn't fucking matter. Fuck this. I mean, I still voted, but I was I'm testy.
Wait, it was at the machine? It was after you'd already filled in all the bubbles? You're just like, you just rip it up and walk out.
Yeah, I was just like, what? Man, it's
forget this.
It's just a sacred day. It's voting day.
I thought you meant in line to get to voting. Somebody cut in front of you. I'm like, I've never seen that. That'd be insane.
No, I was standing right behind the machine, and a dude just walked in front of me and put his thing in. Yeah. It cost me maybe 15 seconds.
He wanted to get his first.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure his was counted before.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right, that's enough about the dire conditions, and
we really tackled a lot of issues there. I'm sure what we said made a big difference.
Yeah, but hit us with some bizarre news.
Yeah. Okay. I've got fun articles. Let's lighten it up. All right. Let's lighten it up. The headline reads: a 90-year-old tortoise named Mr. Pickles is a new dad of 3.
Aw.
That's right.
Congrats, Mr. Pickles.
Mr. Pickles at the Houston Zoo. He has been with his partner, Mrs. Pickles, since she arrived in 1996.
Holy shit, that relationship's about your age.
They've been together as long as I've been alive, just about. Wow. Or since she arrived there. Yeah. just so you know, her and the hatchlings are doing great.
Great. It's important to me.
So the oldest animal at the Houston Zoo is this tortoise. They're a radiated tortoise, to be more specific. I don't know if that's a kind of... It says radiated.
Oh, I thought it was like irradiated. I thought it was like
no. I don't know if that's a type of tortoise. Whatever. Anyways, this tortoise, Mr. Pickles, moved there nearly a century ago.
Jesus.
Yes.
Is there not like a turtle menopause?
I don't know.
They could just continue churning out kids.
So that's actually the thing. They mentioned that in this article. We don't know for a fact how long turtles can reproduce. But that's why it's so interesting. This 90-year-old turtle was able to have children with Mrs. Pickles. That's
pretty awesome.
Yeah. So, now I lost my place. But essentially, I mean, that's really it. It's a 90-year-old tortoise. They don't know how long. News. So I think they normally live like 150 years or some shit, right? They live really long.
They do live a long time.
Like a long time.
It's definitely over.
Which is why like we haven't been able to know like, oh, can they still reproduce at like an old ass age? Because like, first of all, I'm sure it's hard to determine exactly, if you just see an old tortoise. How old are you? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Maybe like if you cut them open, you can see they'll have like rings on them.
Like they just know because this guy got there in like whatever, would have been like 19 whatever. Yeah, he's 90. And
wait, is Mrs. Pickles around?
Yeah, so Mrs. Pickles is younger, I believe.
Oh, Mr.
I think Mrs. Pickles is much younger than Mr. Pickles.
Dog.
Yeah, he's sort of like a Hugh Hefner type, I think. He must have a lot of money. But
I wonder if the turtles can recognize age differences.
Probably.
Like I wonder if the older tortoise feels like he's robbing the cradle, so to speak.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Pickles. Let's read about Mr. Pickles' journey, because he actually has gone on quite the journey. So Mr. Pickles, he was hatched in the 1930s.
Holy fuck.
Eventually, he made his way to Houston in the 1980s. After, he was collected and traveled throughout Europe in the 1950s. This turtle has lived a more fulfilling life than I have.
He was in Europe in the 1950s?
Yeah.
Or from the 30s to the 50s, he was traveling in Europe? Because the thought of Mr. Pickles having somehow been in the same country or same continent as Hitler, that's pretty cool.
He may have been. He could have met Hitler. You just learn that Mr. Pickles, the tortoise in the Houston Zoo, has like lived this amazing, elaborate life.
He's like the Forrest Gump
He actually killed Hitler. He was the one in the bunker.
He's the Forrest Gump of Hitler. The Forrest Gump of turtles, in that he just like somehow touched
he touched parts like of history. Different parts of history just out of nowhere. So this tortoise has led a hell of a life. And now he is the proud father of 3 new hatchlings at the age of 90, and he's doing well. And as is his partner, Mrs. Pickles.
I hope you're not going to read a story 2 weeks from now about some sick fuck who broke into the Houston Zoo and has taken the hatchlings, has taken Mr. and Mrs. Pickles.
Mr. Pickles murdered. Guess who's on the case? Me. Because I can solve cases now. That's the whole thing.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm glad everything came back full circle.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's we're hoping, sending good positive energy towards Mr. and Mrs. Pickles down at the Houston Zoo. If you are in the Houston area, just make sure you pop in, go say hi, and say congratulations to Mr. Pickles, because he's had a hell of a life, and now he's finally entering fatherhood.
Feed him some cabbage or something. I think they like.
Yeah,
cabbage.
I'm sure he'd like it. My next story. You may have heard about this. I don't know. Rapper Rick Ross. Whoops. It was a pop-up. There's a stupid pop-up ad. Rapper Rick Ross thanks neighbors for helping return his wandering buffaloes.
What? I did not hear about this. Why does Rick Ross keep buffaloes?
It's a good question. Because he probably can. Rick Ross thanked his neighbors for helping return buffaloes after they wandered off his property in Fayetteville, Georgia. Fayetteville, thank you. The buffaloes were first seen strolling around Fayette County on March 13th. A spokesperson for the sheriff's office confirmed that the buffaloes belonged to Ross and were safely returned to his property. The rapper uses social media to document life on his ranch, nicknamed the Promised Land, where he keeps horses, cows, and buffaloes.
That's awesome.
He posted several Instagram stories on his verified account addressing the hairy situation.
Are buffaloes like hairy?
I guess maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. The person who found them. I always return stray animals. I just saw the buffalo and I knew I had to return it. Jeez.
It's a great
Rick
story.
Ross said, "Make sure you always put a collar on your animals, and mine don't have a collar because you know it's mine." I don't know what that statement's supposed to mean. He's telling people to put the collars on.
Maybe maybe that doesn't apply to him, but maybe he just knows that his buffaloes are so distinct.
Yeah.
That when you look at the buffalo, it's like, okay, that is Rick Ross's buffalo.
Yeah. Honestly, you don't think about buffaloes being an animal that you can even own. I didn't know you could own buffaloes.
I wonder if they can get to graze, or does he slaughter them?
No. So he said that he likes to give them carrots and apples. He said they're kind and they're peaceful.
Man, I am so jealous of rich people that can just have enough money to do stupid shit like that.
Oh, I know, right? Like, he's just got so much money. He's like, what can I buy? You know, I'm going to get a ranch, call it the Promised Land. I'm going to raise buffaloes. Like, why the hell not?
Damn it.
I want to get so rich that I can raise a buffalo. Just a single buffalo.
Me too. That's a new goal of mine.
Yeah.
I'm going to accrue wealth. I would love to be on a ranch.
Oh,
not
me
doing
too.
Any work. I would love to own it and be able to say I own the ranch. But I would not put any effort. Like I said, I don't have any discipline.
That's true. That's true.
I would hire you as a ranch hand.
Dude, I would love to.
Yeah.
How much?
You get room and board included.
That's all I need.
And
Done.
maybe like a $2 daily stipend.
Give me the contract now.
All right, I'll draw it up. I'll have my people call your people.
I just wanted to mention that in this article, Rick Ross refers to himself as Rodeo Rick. Because he has a ranch.
I can't name a single Rick Ross song.
Hustlin'?
No.
So sophisticated.
Maybe. Not
Push
by the
it.
name. I know, like, he's on some DJ Khaled tracks.
Dude, Rick Ross has so many bangers. I just named the main ones.
You're not about to play those, are you?
Yeah, let's play some.
Wait.
Obviously, it's
Don't.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, Rick Ross has tons of hits, baby.
Okay.
He is underrated.
All right. Well, looking at the clock, gazing at the hour.
Yeah.
It is late.
Really?
Do you have any?
Oh.
Do you have any final thoughts?
Final thoughts, guys. Try to live your life similar to how Mr. Pickles did, because he's doing it right. He lived it. He, traveled the world through Europe, saw Hitler, left Europe, went down to Houston to settle plant his roots, and now he's met a nice little Mrs. Pickles, and they're having children. And that's all you can really hope for in this life, is to just go on a journey, feel fulfilled, and then have some little tortoises to fulfill. Yep. Bye.